Hi friends, I'm Swapna Gajjala and I heartily welcome you all to PSSM Global Show Soul Connect. PSSM Global is an initiative to strengthen the roots of pyramid spiritual societies worldwide. PSSM's sole mission is to spread Anapanasati meditation, plant based food, spiritual science, and beneficial uses of pyramid energy to one and all. One of the 18 guiding principles of the PSSM emphasizes on listening and sharing meditation experiences to enhance one's spiritual progress. Through this show, we want to connect you all to various spiritual masters across the globe who will share their words of wisdom, their journeys, and experiences. I'm very happy and excited to welcome Sreekanth Garla from Atlanta, Georgia as our guest today. Sreekanth has been meditating since over past 15 years. By profession, he is a solution architect in one of the leading global chemical manufacturing industry. He carries about 20 plus years of professional experience, carrying various positions as an IT consultant. He is also one of the board members of PSSM USA, carrying various spiritual activities across USA regions and also helped set up programs for Patriji while touring in USA. He played a key role in starting PMC USA and PMC multilingual YouTube channels to telecast various programs about meditation, vegetarianism, and pyramid power. Let's welcome Srikanth and know more about his journey. Hearty welcome, Srikanth Garu, to Soul Connect.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Really want to thank the whole team of PSSM Global, who is front of the screen, back of the screen, who are taking great initiatives to bring people like me forward. So thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you. We are very excited and curious to know about your journey. So, can you share with us about how and when you came into this path?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. So as I said, now 15 plus years. So uh, I would say there are at least about 80% of the people who come into meditation or the spiritual path by one of an incident which can occur in their life, or something which will trigger them to get into this path. About 80% of them, and there will be 20% of them who will gradually progress, and I am part of that 20%. So I would like to connect to the people who are of the 20% can also get into the spiritual path. You don't need an incident to get that trigger. So that is where my focus is. So let me tell a little bit of background about myself on how that whole journey happened. So fortunately, we were in a family, in a joint family. Basically, we all lived with our uncles, aunts, about 20 plus people in one house. Uh, so that's where our journey started in our younger age, and we did our schooling, all that in Chennai. Though we are from Andhra, but we are Telugu speaking people grown up in Chennai. So we did all our education, work for most of the time, married, everything settled in Chennai before coming to Hyderabad and then eventually to the US. So at that time, when we were young, so our parents they helped us across our path. They taught us to to be happy in with what we have, rather than they didn't teach us on how to be successful, or how to achieve some message or money or anything. They just taught us on how to be happy with what we have, right? So that is a great message. And being in a joint family, having that discipline and respect to elders, all that came by default. So those are all added bonuses which came along with us. So that's little fortunate in that manner. So we were happy at that time, and we used to do a lot of idol worship. So we were very favorites of doing pujas. We used to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi or Krishna Jayanti or Ayyappa Swami Puja, anything in a very grand scale, right? So that is how we used to be happy. And though we lived in a short house and short room because of joint family, all that did not bother because we used to live happily, right? So later, because we were growing a little older, and we did not have enough space, so we had to come out, and we came to our individual house, and that's when our parents thought that we should. There was an opportunity to join ISKCON, right? ISKCON, like International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So we joined. I mean, our parents joined there as life members. So we used to go there, have joy, right? So earlier we were happy. Now we came to a joy mode, right? So doing that consciousness, Krishna's consciousness, and how ISKCON used to celebrate any festivals or anything with great joy, with a lot of music, dancing. So we used to be joyful there. And then I think through our maternal uncle, who introduced meditation to us, to our parents, and that is when we got into to see, okay, what this is, right? They just, there was a trekking, I suppose, which was conducted. Usually, Patri sir conducts a lot of trekkings, and for one of the trekking, our parents went and they were shocked, astonished, whatever words you want to use, to see that kind of a trekking and to see Patri sir and his behavior, and this, they were astonished like anything, and so they liked it, and so they practiced it, right? So that is how it came to us, that meditation, because we blindly followed our parents throughout while they were doing those idol worships. We followed. When they joined ISKCON, we followed, and now they went into meditation. We just followed blindly, right? Because what we all want is joy, happiness, and we had that throughout. So earlier we started with happiness, looking for consciousness in various other gods, I would say, in idols, right? And then we came to Krishna's consciousness, so wherein we saw the consciousness into one godly element, right? Then when we came into meditation, that is when we observed the consciousness is not outside, it is within. So that is what was our journey to meditation, and we could feel the difference between happiness, being joyful, and being blissful. So it totally attracted us to be in that blissful state always. So that is how my journey, at least, was in the three phases, like how you do an elementary school, high school, and now into PhD, right? So it was happiness, joy, and now blissfulness. So that's how I came into meditation. So there was no kind of an incident to get into meditation. You can gradually progress while understanding yourself. So there is nothing wrong in where you are earlier, or in between, or now. There's nothing wrong. It depends on how your understanding is, and how you can be, how you can gain that blissfulness. When you taste that, then you will come over as how you graduate from elementary natural process. Because when you come to PhD, learning alphabets was not wrong, right? That was necessary. So we did that at that time, we learned that, and now we moved on. We moved on to get into our high school to learn earlier little more advanced subjects, right? Now we came into the PhD mode, wherein we are doing research on ourselves. So there's nothing wrong. We gradually progressed into this level, I would say.
That's so inspiring and beautifully put. And it's wonderful how your parents were constantly encouraging you to be in this path. I mean, yes, you did start with a different method, but still at the end, like, you reached where you were supposed to. And it's wonderful how you put it as from happy state to joy state to bliss state. Because don't just stop, just keep going until you attain that bliss. And that's the ultimate goal in spirituality too. And thank you so much for giving this great message that don't wait until you're forced into meditation. Take that opportunity right away, make that move right now. That's a wonderful message. So, what are some of the changes you've seen after coming into meditation?
The first and foremost thing is the blissfulness, right? It's kind of that inner bliss you could feel. You cannot explain that. You will have to feel it, right? That itself was as like a bonus, right? And getting into meditation, first thing what you'll achieve is all the freebies, like your concentration improves, your living in the moment, the awareness. All these, I would say, are not the benefits of meditation, right? They're all freebies. They come to you with no additional effort by just doing your meditation regularly, regular practice. These are all freebies what you'll get, right? So you do not do meditation to attain peace. You do not do meditation to improve your awareness. No, these are all freebies you get by default. So those are the things which come up immediately to you. You practice that for about 40 days or for a certain period of time. You attain one by one slowly, right? The other major thing what I have noticed is to be on that middle path, wherein when there is happiness, you be in the same state, or when there is sadness, you be in the same state. This is a wonderful emotion will be within you when you achieve that emptiness, that meditative state. Being that in middle path comes as a very standard tool to you. I would state some of examples where seeing my behavior in those situations, all my friends were shocked to see how he could be like that in such a destructive state. Somebody would have gone more, I would say, depressed, or they would gone into various stages, but that did not happen to me. I was very normal as any other day, right? Do you know, to be in the US, there are various stages you'll fall into. So for everybody, that is kind of a cycle. So we also were there, part of it. And there was a situation for my son, who also was studied here but did not born. I came to the US a little late, so he was aged out for his process to begin before I could achieve something, right? Before I could achieve my green card. So he got aged out, and we had to send him back home for some time. And he came to the US. He did all his elementary, high school, middle school, everything here. But now he had to go back home. It was a tricky state wherein we had to let go him for a certain period of time, and where he was not used to. Very long ago he was, but he was not used to in recent times. So we took it so positively, and we had to send him. And even my son is a meditator himself, so he was strong enough. So that gave us more motivated to be strong, right? So that way, our whole family, out people, our close friends who are seeing from outside, they were all shocked to see, hey, how are you guys managing? You guys are sending your son back home, so how will he manage there? How will you guys be here? What is the plan and all that? We took it, I would say, very lightly, and everything fell in place. Right time, right things. He went there. He was there at least for about 7 months. He was with my parents, so with his grandparents and with my brother. So he spent a good time there. He had a good family relations. He built his family relations there when he was there. So everything worked out well. And then he got his process done, his school process. He got his I-20s, all that, and he came back after 7 months. So this whole 7 months, we took it so positively, and we took it so encouragingly, that it went so smooth and it came back. So people were all shocked to see that kind of an approach. But all this, I would give credit to meditation, because it did not make us fall somewhere. Or even if my son was at least about 10% depressed, we would have felt it. But he was also strong. We were strong. So I would give credit totally for meditation, where we were able to achieve that kind of state.
That's wonderful and beautifully said. Yes, when you start meditation, many people say, I used to have a lot of experiences in the beginning, lot of
Mhm.
visions. It was very nice.
Mhm.
And after a
Yeah.
certain I don't see anything.
Yeah.
It's all those, as you said, those are all freebies to get
Yeah.
into this path and continue. And the
Yes.
ultimate goal is not those, but
Yes.
to attain that stillness within you. Srikant Garu, we've heard many of your family members and relatives are into spiritual service. We would like to hear more about them from you.
Yeah, so that's a big list. So let me start with my own family, right? My wife, Anila, and my two sons, Ankit and Harshit. So we all practice meditation for quite some time. Uh, and we all do joint meditation also at home sometimes, right? When everybody are available and things like that. So our relationship within the family is so bonding because of this. There is a family time you could spend uh, because we share each other thoughts about this and all that. So we all talk about the same language. So it's very nice. It's not that we are talking to outsiders. So it is all within the family. So we share and things like that. Uh, and my wife Anila, she also helps me in a lot of activities what I do, and she also does meditation coaching to her corporate friends or cousins and things like that. So wherever possible, we all spend time to spread this word out. So she plays a major role in that. And when I talk about my kids, two kids, Ankit and Archie, they also practice, as I said. And Ankit, my elder son, is the inspiration, one of the inspiration for me to get into this meditation also, because when he was about 7 years old, he did an astral travel experience, and that was an experience which initiated me to find out more about what this whole thing is. So at the age of 7, when so we used to live in Chennai at those days. So that was one of our meditation center in Chennai, and a lot of masters used to come and go there. Because of visa processing, right? That's a center for all visa processing across Andhra. That time there was no visa center there, so a lot of people, a lot of masters, they used to come. So we used to share a lot of wisdom through them. So in one such visit, Master Premnath sir came there, and he's too good with handling with kids and exploring various activities with kids in meditation. So in one such experiment, he made our kids sit, and when he experimented, so my son was around 7 at that time, and he did an astral travel experience to Himalayas. He didn't even know what the Himalayas was. He didn't know what it would look like, and just by within all this happened within about 5 minutes time. So by closing their eyes, he said, "Okay, go to Himalayas." They do not know where to go, so they just followed his guidance, and he could explain what it was while in meditation. He was explaining. I could see that smoke. I could see that whiteness and all that, and. And through that process, while he was there about 2 to 3 minutes, and he got a shiver in physical body while that was happening. So so in that shiver, so Master Premnath sir said, "Okay, nothing to worry. You visited enough. Now let's come back." So he came back, and now he opened your eyes. So he opened his eyes, and how was it? Master asked, and he said, "Yeah, it was nice." And they went and ran and playing, right? So all this happened in duration of about 5 minutes, sitting, going, and having actual experience, having a shiver in the body, and now coming back, getting up. So shiver in the body. So we were all outsiders. For seeing from outside, we feel that was something is happening to him. So we wanted to go. So master said, "No, no, no, wait, wait, you don't come here." So that initiated some kind of a trigger to me to understand there is something more to this. So let's explore. So that was my first experience with astral travel, and that's why I always say, "Who is your guru?" I would say my son, because that is the initiation I got from him. And my younger one, Harshit, he recently joined academic course what we conducted for kids. So he joined that, and he did a course It's a small course, but he did it and he achieved a good score. So we are all into that. So that's why I wanted to explain that kids have to, at that age, if they can get into meditation, we can very blindly say they can lead their life on however they want. So without we struggling. So that's about my immediate family. But we came to meditation through our maternal uncle, and through maternal uncle, my parents. And my parents are Jyoti Madam and Madhusudan sir from Chennai. So if you say Jyoti Madam from Chennai, most of the people are aware in our meditation circle. So they did great services throughout, and they did about 5 years of service in Pyramid Valley, managing Anadanam facility there. So they stayed there. So they were about 60 plus when they went to Valley and serviced for 5 years. So my mom used to tell me, at 60 years, I got a job. So everybody used to retire at that time, but they got a job at the age of 60. And so they very proudly, they say that we serviced and they enjoyed a lot during that 5 year period. Doing that service in Pyramid Valley. So they were at least about 55 plus, I would say, or 50, 55 at that around age when they came into meditation. From then, now they're about 70 plus, no medicines. No medicines, no BP checks, nothing. So we are very fortunate that they came into this meditation early, and they're able to enjoy being in that state, and just without attending the hospitals itself is a great boon for any human being, I would say. So that is why meditation is so important for anybody, so that we could eliminate visits of hospitals. Half of the issues, problems are resolved, and half of unhappiness is taken out, because if you're not visiting an hospital, there's so much of time left. You could do various other activities, right? So that way, I'm really very lucky to have parents in such a manner. And then I would like to say about my sister, elder sister. So she's Sunita Jagdish, and Sunita from Chennai again is so familiar in our circles because of the activities what she does, and her transformation before meditation and after meditation is like a mountain, like difference. Before meditation, she was very calm and not cannot speak to anybody, afraid of everything and anything, and like that. Now she is like total transformed. She is a very short and a thin lady, but she handles great programs, and she conducts various activities across Tamil Nadu, and she is totally dedicated, full-time service into spiritual activities, and we get inspired each and every time we talk to her. She bring, by the activities what she does, she inspires us so much. So really fond of her. She is also one of my gurus, I will say, because every time I have a question, she is immediate reach to me, and she guides me so well. So really thanks to her. And my younger brother, he's the last one to come into this path, but he's coming with such a speed that he's taken over all of us in that spiritual service. He is now one of the key person who is now building a 200 by 200 size pyramid in Tamil Nadu. So he is one of the key initiative there. Of course, there is a trustee, there are team and all that, but he's one of the key person who takes care of that. So even he came late, he's coming with such a speed. So that's about my family and the activities what they do.
Wonderful and very inspiring. They say like there is no certain age for people to come into meditation.
Mhm.
And you put it so beautifully that the sooner you start, the better it is.
Yeah.
And in your family, people of all ages
Yeah.
started meditating.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful work your family is doing, Sreekanth. I mean, it's so inspiring. Yes, I've seen many events wherein your parents and your sister were part of it, but I wanted viewers to know about the service that they do. And the whole family is into service, and this is such a wonderful thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did meditation help you in your career?
Yeah. So we need to understand this spirituality is not something different, right? We will have to bring that spirituality and the spiritual practices in our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life, meaning in your living, so with your family, so to build your relationships, how you deal with your friends, how to deal with your neighbors, right? Same way, how to take the spirituality into your career. So we'll have to do all this together, not there, these are not two separate tracks, right? So how we can mix these two is what we'll have to learn, and that comes based on practice again, right? On how you can bring those principles into your day in your daily life. So these two things, what I very much like, which I incorporated in my corporate world, is one is intuitiveness and the other one is inclusiveness, right? So these two things are such a need of the hour things for me in my career. I used them and it worked out really well, and I've been benefiting without even others knowing, right? That I use these spiritual practices into my life. So nobody knew that, but I used those tools into my career and I benefited out of it, right? So let me explain what these two are: intuitiveness and inclusiveness. So first, let's talk about intuitiveness, right? What meditation will give us as the freebies, right? Your kind of awareness. That is what you practice on a day-to-day basis. In meditation, what you practice is bringing your awareness to be with you rather than to be in 100 things. We bring it into on one single thing called breath, right? So that way, what happens is you are aware of every movement, you are aware of everything what's happening. So which means what is happening innerly. Let me explain a little bit more elaboratively what's happening, the science behind in that awareness being in the moment, meaning you have these things called consciousness and subconscious minds, right? So when it is like if you talk in your IT language, this is RAM, which is your conscious mind, and this is your hard disk, your unconscious mind, right? You want to keep always your RAM, your conscious mind free, so that it can process faster. You cannot load all your softwares, everything onto the RAM, and then it becomes too loaded and it takes a lot of time to process, then it gets delayed. So what's happening in meditation is you are keeping this RAM, which is your conscious mind, free enough. So your RAM is faster. It can process faster. And what it does while this process is happening, it giving you the access to reach to your subconscious mind, which is your hard disk. In the hard disk, you store whatever you want. That is your memory, right? You store you while you are walking, you watch a tree, you watch a person walking, there's a train going, everything you get recorded in that subconscious mind. But you do not want to keep that in your conscious mind. You wanted to keep only a thing. When, say, suppose in that same example of the walking of a road, when you are walking in a road, you just keep your mind such that you walk safely, you are crossing the road, so that your whole consciousness is free. Now you're not thinking about a tree or a road or a car which is coming. You're just watching and being safe to cross, right? But in your subconscious mind, these all things are there. If you want, you will reach out to that and come up if you need it, right? So my point is, you want to keep your conscious mind clear without clutter, right? That is what used to happen in my career work, right? So as I said, my profession is a solution architect. So there are some times when a solution I need to frame, which I've not seen before, which I've not heard it before. So that kind of a problem would come to me. I just uh, close my eyes for just 2 minutes over it and not worrying about what that problem is. I just close my eyes and just breathe, right? To understand what this is all about. And that intuitiveness will come just like that. How it is coming? Because I made my conscious mind free enough, it is going to my subconscious mind and picking it. Because that solution, what I framed, I would have never thought of that solution because I've not seen that before. But it is there in my conscious mind somewhere. I'm able to access that solution from my unconscious mind. That is what is your intuition. Your intuition gets stronger because there is no clutter in your conscious mind. So how did I get that? Because of practice of meditation, right? That is how you improve your intuitiveness. So I don't have to tell anybody about how I achieved this, right? How did you come a solution? Yes, I got the solution. This is how you can perform. But behind the scene, my intuitiveness is what it helped, right? The other terminology what I implemented in my career is inclusiveness. So before meditation, when we used to work, we always worried about, okay, how can I perform? What is my deliverables? How can I achieve better than others? Right? So it used to be always I. How can I deliver? How can I do? How can I compete with it? But when I heard this terminology inclusiveness in my spirituality, I implemented that in my career world. So after meditation, when I implemented this, I always talk to my team members, how can we achieve this? How can we bring this solution forward? So what are the things we could do? So when I change my language from I to we, everybody turned that way. I did not tell them that you should talk like this or you should behave like that. Nothing. We cannot tell to anybody, right? They can all see our behavior and they change automatically. So that is one good thing I learned through meditation, that we'll have to be inclusive, not be independent. When you want to achieve anything, when you want to go far, right, it has to be inclusive. Everybody together only can go forward. So these are the two things which I implemented in my career, and it was so helpful to me.
This is such a wonderful tip and message, and
Yeah.
beautiful analogy on how to keep your conscious mind clutter free, to
Yeah.
connect your intuition,
Right.
thereby achieving the solution.
Yeah.
So basically, we will be focusing more on solution and not on problem when
Right.
you are connected with our intuition.
Right.
And so beautifully, you mentioned about being inclusiveness.
Yeah.
How, when you shift energies inside you, it changes the energies around you.
Oh, yes.
How people have eventually, connected with those thoughts and energies, and everyone started working together. This is a great, inspiring message that many will be benefited from, Sreekanth Garu. And since we were talking about career, there's a lot of uncertainty going around because of COVID and various other reasons. So, how do you think one needs to think in these situations? What is the right kind of approach?
Yeah, so this is actually need of the hour today, right? So in this current moment, everybody are so fearful and so worried about what happens when I lose a job, or what happens if this virus attacks me, and all that, right? So I just wanted to inform about what I understand based on how we can deal with this, right? So this uncertainty, we need to understand it from a very high level, right? So what is all this about? So where are we? Where did we come from? Where are we going? And what is our current uh, step in the life, right? So if you see this in a very big picture, I would say that mm, this is kind of a pop-ups, right? We are all like a pop-ups. If you know, again, I'm talking from the IT perspective because I could connect most of the IT people with this, and I have the IT background. I would always connect to my terminologies. So, so as how we see some pop-ups coming in your computer, right? Like there would be a pop-up if there is something, and then close out, right? So all our lives are like pop-ups in this whole universe, I would say, right? That is all our whole life is like we come and we go like a pop-up. So what did we come with? Nothing, right? And what are we going to take along with us? Nothing, right? So you build up so much of things around you with so much passion. You built it everything, right? Now while going, what are you doing? Doing nothing, right? So so if you see from that big picture, all these are very 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 small things. So small things, I would say, like your relationship failed, that's a very small thing. You lost a job, that's a very small thing. Compare to your dying, right? So because while you die, there's nothing. You are not taking anything. You're not taking that relationship. You're not taking that job. You're not taking your asset. You're not taking your money. Nothing, right? So it's gone, right? So so do not take your life so seriously, right? Take it as it comes, right? And I would also give one more example is, say suppose there are no problems at all, your life is going very smoothly, you're sitting, eating, sleeping, do no problem for all that, you are doing that, and you have finished your life. So that's like a straight line, right? What does a straight line means from the hospital graph perspective? You're dead. You need to have those spikes, only then there is life, right? So so take that as a as something you want to learn when there is an uncertainty, right? So that's not the end of your life, that you learn from that and then come back. So there is a spike, so there is a low, it's okay, but you will enjoy that only when there are spikes. When there is a straight line, which means there's no life, right? Now some people even there want to be very curious, what will happen for me tomorrow, what will happen in next 5 years to me, right? You do not want to know actually, because say suppose you've gone to a thriller movie, right? And somebody person who is next to you who's seen the movie, he's telling you what is the next scene. How does it look like for you? You do not want to watch it because you want that suspense to be there, right? Or somebody sitting at home, I'll tell you, okay, I'll not tell anything, I'll just tell you the last suspense scene for you. Is it good? No, you do not want to watch that. You want that suspense to be there until you reach there, right? So even in the life, you do not want to be in a straight line. You want those suspenses to hit at the time when they wanted to, right? So do not worry about your life, friends. Live the life. Don't wait for something to come or enjoy at that time. No, this is the moment. When you are down, learn it. Learn on what is the thing, what you can make it better. Now come back up. Now again go down. Okay, it's okay, because that is how you enjoy your life, going ups and downs rather being in a straight line.
Great message about how to look at life and the challenges that we face. And as you said, no phase is permanent.
Yes,
So everything shall pass.
right.
So when you're in happy times, you cherish those moments. And when
Yeah.
when you face challenges, just have that assurance that this is a very short phase and it'll
Yeah.
be soon be over.
Yes.
And try to continue with the positive attitude. Srikant Garu, can you share your experiences with Patriji?
Wow, this is one great human being without whom we do not know what we would have done. Great pranamam, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know how one person can be so simple and yet be so perfect in everything what he does. He's a great role model for anybody, not just spirituality, not about meditation. If you just see his way of how he spends a day, that itself is a great inspiration to all of us, because whatever he does, either reading a book or cooking or interacting with people or whatever, he's so perfect, and he does the things as needed. No over talking, no less talking, no over cooking, no less cooking, right? No over reading, no less reading, right? He watches movies, he watches cricket, he plays table tennis. Man, this guru, we cannot, I do not want to call him a guru because he always has been a friend and he approaches to us as a friend. He is, because if we say guru, again, we'll put a frame and we'll frame it and we want to do puja. No, that's why we should treat him as a friend. That is how he wanted us, everybody, to be as friends, because in the friendship there is no condition. That is why that relationship is so important to be as a friend. You bring that terminology in everywhere and that will be successful. Even in your relationship, your husband wife relationship, bring friendship into it. Your children and your parent relationship, bring friendship into it, right? So when you bring that whole concept of dealing with one another, drastically changes. That is what he taught us, right? So simple but so effective, right? To be friendly with everybody and being simple. So when he comes to the US, that is the best time we spend with him, because when we meet him in India, he's so busy and there are a lot of people around. So we get very little time and chance to meet with him, and but still he dedicates a lot of time with everybody. But when he comes to the US, it's like a bonus, right? It's always like a festival when he comes home. Whenever he comes to the US, I have that fortunate to set up his tour plan in the US. So some places, at least in the East Coast, I would travel with him along with him at least about 3 to 4 places, and we did a lot of West Coast tours also past 3 4 years. We did a lot of touring when he came to the US. So it's always so bliss and so like a festival kind of atmosphere when he's around. He guides us in every aspect. So he teaches us like he doesn't teach like a teacher, right? He just acts and we see based on that and learn. So it is not kind of a teaching, but it is a teaching, right? So we see him and learn so many things. So it's a wonderful relationship what we have with his. Yeah.
Very aptly said. And I haven't seen such an accessible guru.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate and blessed to interact with him when he came to Austin for an
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
And that was the first time our entire family interacted with Patriji.
Mm.
Not only with elders, even kids feel that he's their friend.
Yes.
That's the most beautiful part. And the first thing he asks is, "Did you eat? Okay, come, I'll serve you." Who will do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, pranams to Patriji.
Yeah.
Sreekanth Garu, as a board member of PSSM USA, what were the projects that you've undertaken, and can you also share about upcoming projects?
Yeah, this again is a very interesting note on how this whole concept of this PSSM USA has come up, because uh, we were as we learned meditation and we know, we were just going around telling to our neighbors, nearby friends, to all of them. But one of our friend close by who came to learn meditation through us, and his name is Pawan from Atlanta. So he came through one of our friends, and he liked this meditation service, what he do, what we are doing, and all that. So he was suggesting, why not we do as an organization, right? Because we are doing so much of activities, and there will be some kind of a structured way of doing. And at the same time, even Patri sir was asking us to take to this to the next level, because we are doing so many activities anyways. Why don't you start up something? So all this came together as a coincidence, and we thought, okay, let's do. And we registered an organization here with the name PSSM USA. So we perform the same activities what our parent organization, PSS Movement, does. So through this organization, we also applied a 501c, which means it is you can tax exempt organization. So this gave us little more benefit as an organization perspective, that people who wanted to donate can claim with their taxation. So that way it is useful for them and useful to us, because when we are doing so much of services here, we need some kind of finance support also to make bigger programs, to reach out to various people. So that was the whole idea of starting this organization, making it as a tax exempt, because all the activities what we do here are free activities, right? Because there is no charge of anything. So that is why we were able to attain that tax exempt status, right? So after we got this, we did major events in the past. Like we collaborated with other organizations, and we participated in their events. So one such event called Global Pyramid Conference, it happens every 2 years in Chicago. So we cooperated with them, and we did a good event with them. And one event we did with Vegetarian Vision in New York. That also was very successful. It was a 2 day event in New York, and there we initially thought we'll just put uh, a stall, small stall, but it eventually, based on the programs what we were doing, they gave us separately one hall, and our event, it became as our event rather than Vegetarian Vision event, because the number of people who came to us who were Patri sir would do at least about 8 to 9 sessions of what it lasts 15 to 20 minute sessions of meditation sessions, continuously about 8. Because every session we do, the hall was full. Like it was 100 seating capacity or something like that. So all the full, and then we asked people to wait. They waited after the session, so they came back and they sat for the second session. Like that, we used to do at least about 8 sessions back to back, and Patri sir took it a very grand manner. So that was a very successful event, wherein we did a good spread in that event, Vegetarian Vision. And in 2020, we did a lot of because of this pandemic, we took an advantage of it. This pandemic became an advantage for all pyramid masters across the globe, right? Because we were able to reach more people online instead of earlier. We used to do region wise, right? We used to do activities in Atlanta, we used to do activities in Dallas, we used to do activities in Minneapolis. But when this pandemic came, all these walls broke. So we were able to do more online activities, and that is when we were inspired, based on the PMC channel, Telugu channel, which was coming up, which was very drastically were viewed from various people. So with that inspiration, and along with our blessings with from our Patri sir, we started PMC USA and PMC multilingual, both the channels, because we wanted to take this platform into a much bigger way so that we can reach out to more people. So that was the idea. So we did all these online sessions and telecasted major programs we did in 2020. So like one of the event which we did was Digital Meditation Summit, right? So that was again, we brought all various speakers into one platform, and we did a event, and we did specific focused concept called conscious parenting is one of the event what we did, and all these were online events, and we telecasted in through PMC USA channels. And one other event what we did was other successful event we did 2020 was Inner Journey, right? So that again was a very grand success, because there were at least about 300 plus registrations what we had. Why I would say that, because Inner Journey specifically is a long duration program. It was about 45-day program, and everybody, they had to commit for that 45 days, and it went on very successfully. Everybody had various experiences during that program, and it benefited a lot of people. That is the whole idea, is to reach to maximum people, and they all can benefit, is the whole intention, right? So so that is one event. And we also are doing these academy courses. So one, yeah, one organization called PSSA, so Pyramid Spiritual Science Academy, is the educational wing of PSSM movement. So they have this designed courses wherein you can get certified in spirituality. So we get certification in various other things. Now we have an authenticated spiritual organization which can authenticate your knowledge, so that, because here in the US, we everybody know that for everything what you talk, you need a certificate, right? Any small thing, when you wanted to do your yoga, are you a certified yoga teacher? When you want to do parenting for kids, are you certified coach, right? So for everything there is a certification. So now we have that window open saying, yes, there is a certification for spirituality also, where you can achieve, and it's an authenticated source who can authenticate it. So that one, we have started 2 levels of courses there. So that is one event which is happening currently. And we also do 2 kinds of regular shows. Like one is spreading of positive news, right? Which is a very important aspect, because we wanted to bring the whole idea of positive news is to bring all the various activities what we do in the US into one platform, so that everybody can know, then see what are the various activities which are being performed. So that is one thing what we regularly promote through PMC USA. And the other thing what we regularly do is soul foods, to promote vegetarianism, because a lot of people here, if they want to convert into vegetarianism, they do not know what are the various vegetarian dishes can be done, right? The people struggle with that. They, until now, for them vegetarian means it is only salads, right? So to reach for those people that in vegetarianism there are various kind of foods can be made, so, and simple, right? So that is the whole idea. So we do it in the name of soul foods. That also telecasts every, I think now it is going every week. So these are the kind of activities what we do through PMC USA channel. So there are 2 channels what we are doing. One is PMC USA, which caters to only English speaking viewers. We do not want to mix up another language programs into the same channel, because they might lose interest if the other languages come. So we wanted to keep it in a different channel called PMC Multilingual, wherein there you will have various other languages. As of now, we are doing Telugu, and I think a couple of programs in Tamil. But our idea is to bring Spanish, to bring French, though all those programs also into that multilingual, so that people are aware that there are 2 kind of channels where they can reach and take it where whatever is needed to them. So that is the whole idea. So all these activities are performed through this organization called PSSM USA, who is managing various other activities along with these channels for media activities, right? So one special program I wanted to focusly talk about is DMC, which is called Dhyana Mahachakram, right? So this is Dhyana Mahachakram is usually this program is done in Kartal, India, Hyderabad. So that is as an annual festival. It is being celebrated for whole of PSSM, right? So they have as kind of an annual event which is done for a 10-day program. So in 2019 was the first year when they introduced Mahila Dhyana Mahachakram for empowering women. They started the program. So when Sir announced this in 2018 that 2019 would be the Mahila Dhyana Mahachakram for women empowerment, so all our friends here in the US, we all wanted to go for that event from the US as a group. That was our initial plan. But for some reason, it did not happen. So when that not happened, so we were all a little bit disappointed because that was a very big event which was planning to happen and we were not able to go for some reason or the other. So one of our friend who is a senior meditator again, Yuvati Garu from Minneapolis, she gave an idea of why not we celebrate here in the US jointly because we are not able to go there. So that was the initial thought. Oh, that sounded really nice because when we did these events like Vegetarian Vision in New York or the Pyramid Conference in Chicago, there also we all used to meet, right? But in 2019, we did not have such kind of an event, a joint event in the US. So we were all very eager to meet. So we were all thinking that we would do that in Kartal, but that did not happen. So the idea was, why can't we do it here in the US? So out of all the discussions, two places were shortlisted. One was Minneapolis and the other one was Atlanta. For some reason, on that particular day, when the decision was to be made, people from Atlanta were more. So we did a voting. So Atlanta was chosen. So we were very fortunate to have that event. It was decided that it will be done in Atlanta. But the main thing is nobody knew what to be done. Right? We all know that we all should meet together and we'll have to celebrate, is what the thought was, but nobody knew who all would come, what is the thing we need to do, how can we, because we have never done such activities before. So here again, the spirituality played a major role, right? When you have a good intention, when that intention and when there is benefit to larger people and your intention is good, the whole universe comes to you for making that event successful, right? That is exactly what happened in this DMC. Nobody knew what need to be done. For me, in my meditation, I clearly got a picture, which you call as intuition, whatever. The whole program structure with the table column, with the timings, with the what needs to be done, everything it came in as a vision.
Wow.
That was a beautiful experience. Just I got out of the meditation and whatever I saw in that vision, I put it in the paper. That was exactly what was executed without even one single correction. So that's how the clarity of thought would come in through meditation and your intention, right? Because this celebration is just not a celebration. When all masters meet together, we talk about various things, we talk about our experiences, we can grow to a next level. That DMC helped most of us in a lot of manners where we are able to do major activities in 2020. That was the seed, right? So our relationships got very much stronger now as a team. We are able to do much bigger activities because of that event, because there was a rapport, because there was a physical meeting. So So all this will form in a right manner, right things, because you are doing for the global wellness. It's not one individual, my achievement, right? It is as a team and it is for the global wellness. The whole universe would support you and take you forward. Is one of the great spiritual experience I would like to share because of that event.
What can I say? So many events, so many programs, and so much of your time, in spite of your work, in spite of so many other commitments. You have taken up such great initiatives, helping meditators in US too to get access to all these programs through these channels. And yes, about DMC, I've heard a lot because some of our masters from Austin too did attend, and they were saying it was such a beautifully organized program with a very well planned sessions, and and they said how they felt at home. So
Yeah.
in fact, I was also planning to come, but last minute I had to cancel. So, but amazing, and thank you so much for bringing these great programs to us. And yes, I was part of Inner Journey. Wonderful program, excellently organized, with lot of great wisdom sessions in the beginning for
Yeah.
beginners to get an understanding about what this is all about, and then taking us through the guided meditations. Shrikant Garu, can you share your message to beginners in this path and what kind of mindset they need to have?
So one thing is, don't take life too seriously, right? You need to bring meditation to your life sincerely. That is all what you need. Rest, rest is all only the happenings. You enjoy the happenings, right? If you do not have meditation in your life, for all these happenings, you'll struggle. You'll have to struggle because your only goal is to make it good, 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 right? That is only your goal. You want to achieve this, you want to achieve this, that, right? But when you bring meditation to your life sincerely, right, then the seriousness is lost. Then it's only happiness, right? When you see with happiness, that whole things what you see which is coming forward, they are not a pain. They're all experiences what you'll gain, right? So I would suggest, don't wait for your old age to come to bring meditation into practice. Bring it into your life as early as possible so that you can enjoy your living rather than waiting for your death to come, right? Enjoy your living. Death is just an activity, right? You're actually, if you see, your life and death is happening every moment. Every time you have your intake of your breath, you are living. Where every time you are exhaling, you are dying. So you are living, you are dying, living, dying, living, dying. And once, say, suppose this exhale stops, and when it is not coming back, then you're gone, right? So there's no life. So this exercise is already happening. So don't worry about the death, which is it is happening already every day, every moment it's happening with you. So that is just one other activity when it is going to go and not going to come back. That's it, right? So don't worry about that. Just enjoy the movement of this inhale and exhaling, and you will see the eternal happiness. So don't wait for the old age to come. Do it now.
Great message. Thank you so much, Shrikant Garu, for coming today on Soul Connect and sharing great words of wisdom, giving us beautiful analogies, and also letting us know these concepts of intuitiveness and inclusiveness, how important they are, and also the great work that you are doing through PSSM USA. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Swapna Garu, really, it was wonderful talking to you. And I know behind the scenes there is Soumya who is working. So thank you very much. She's doing a great job. You are doing a great job. The whole global team is doing various activities, which are all so inspiring. Thank you. Thank you very much for all this. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today. We have more speakers coming in our next episodes. So stay tuned. For upcoming events and programs, please visit www.pssmglobal.org. Subscribe to PMC Global on YouTube. Thank you.